Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on the beer virus. Western Australia descends into communist beer virus madness. Yes, everybody seems to be descending into it. Hey Democrats, how about unlocking the states completely now instead of this slow, arduous, well, maybe we'll let restaurants have 25% capacity? How about unlocking it? There's a vaccine. There's like 7 vaccines. You people just won't be happy. You won't be happy until you tear it all down. Until the Democrats are obliterated as a party. You won't be happy. It's coming. It's coming. Here's what we have to look forward to. Western Australia locked down Perth, the city of Perth and the surrounding area. How many cases? 1 case. 1 confirmed case of beer virus. That is outrageously overstretching. Everybody in Australia should vote these guys out. Vote them out. Get rid of these politicians. They're idiots. They are not following science. That is a total overreaction. Won't help. Oh, help hurt your economy. And you're only locking down for 5 days. It doesn't make any sense. It's a 2-week incubation period. If you don't lock down for 2 weeks, what's the point? What's the point? And why do you have to lock down every person in every city? You'd be better off investigating the guy who tested positive and hunting down every person he came in contact with. Not that I would recommend that either. It's pointless. It's pointless. Here's a tweet from a guy who lives in the area. I live 370 kilometers south of Perth on a farm, 15 kilometers from nearest town, and a kilometer from the nearest neighbor, but have to stay at home and wear a mask outside. Why the hell would you have to wear a mask outside on your own property? Makes no sense. This is just ridiculous. Stop this. Stop this, Australia. Stop this everywhere. Democrats, you just won't be happy until you are completely destroyed politically. And this kind of behavior will destroy you because the protests are coming. You're lucky the Trump economy has helped a lot of people. They have some money. They still have jobs. They're still kind of tolerating you. Look at Vienna. Thousands face off with riot police at protest against beer virus lockdown. Vienna is angry. You think you're going to be able to stop people in this country? We have guns. In Australia, near Perth, huge queues, packed stores, and empty shelves after Australian city announces 5-day beer virus lockdown over single confirmed case. Oh, but I bet the people who own these stores are happy. Oh, they're raking it in. They're raking it in on these panic buys. Or is that the plan? Anti-lockdown protest stage torchlit march in Denmark. I'll show you a little bit here. And look, Anarchy Symbols. Oh my God. Could it be that Antifa in Denmark understands that they should march with the people? Take a lesson, America, Antifa. Idiots. Idiots who still haven't gotten the message. Idiots who helped the wrong people, who helped the establishment. Well, I'm an Antifa. I hope the neoliberals get elected. Oh. Idiots. You can wait. WHO asks UK to pause vaccinations until other countries catch up. Why? Why would you want that? Makes no sense. It asked Britain to pause vaccinations once at-risk groups are inoculated, so doses can be fairly distributed overseas. Fair? What? What difference does it make? If you could inoculate all of Britain, and again, I wouldn't endorse this, You could keep people from going to Britain, and that would be one place that would be safe. Right? You could inoculate everybody in Britain. There's no beer virus on the entire island. You could keep that one area virus free. Then if anybody comes there, they get tested, and you could at least keep that area free. And if you can keep one area free, then others would soon follow. But it's not fair. It's not fair. You're efficiently vaccinating your people. Please stop until idiot countries can catch up to you. Oh my God. It's painfully obvious to me that the Chinese are behind the scenes going, "Ooh, yeah, tell the UK to wait. Tell them it's not fair." Why not? Why wouldn't they do that? They're trying to cause as much chaos in the West as possible. This is absolutely nonsensical. You can see the Chinese letters below the WHO symbol. Very apropos. UK lockdown. Social distancing could remain in place until the end of 2021. Well, I guess if you're going to stop the freaking vaccinations, I guess so. Don't listen to them, Boris. Boris Johnson, huge disappointment for the conservatives who voted for him. Trying to stay in power, I guess, but man, the virus has really, I think it's really thrown him for a loop. You know, he got pretty sick. So, I don't know. I don't know how he feels about it. You know, when you get that sick, you end up in the hospital. I mean, Trump got it too, but Boris is a different kind of guy. So, the Lotus Eaters are complaining about him almost every day now. Coronavirus infections have plummeted by 30% over the last 3 weeks, while hospitalizations are down 21%, and as many as 1/3 of the U.S. population may have some kind of immunity. Of course, it's probably more than that. 2-week incubation period, no symptoms, and you could spread it? Of course, I explained this over and over again in my previous beer virus videos. It only would take one guy working in a place, a store, where you're funneling in lots of people. And thanks to the lockdowns, you're funneling in more into the same spots. Ugh, government, you hurt my head. This is what governments do. They wreck everything. They do things based on politics, based on what people like, based on voting, everything but science, logic, reason. Because sometimes when you apply science or logic or reason, you have to do things that people don't like, and politicians won't do that. They won't do that unless it benefits them so greatly, like the lockdowns do. Yeah, I imagine if you've got some of these big box stores in your portfolio, you're doing all right. No wonder the stock market keeps going up in the middle of the pandemic while everybody's losing their shirts. On Friday, a total of 164,665 new beer virus infections were reported, with a 7-day rolling average of 158,739, a 30% decline the average 3 weeks earlier. Good. Currently, 44 states are seeing a decline in cases, with just Connecticut, Kansas, Rhode Island trending upwards, according to Johns Hopkins data. Yeah. New York, 13,398 new infections with a 5.34 test positivity rate were recorded, down from the recorded more than 19,000 cases. Deaths continue to remain high, with a total of 3,872 deaths recorded on Friday. Because it is a lagging indicator, it is expected to remain high for several weeks, even as cases drop. But, you know, if it bleeds, it leads. So the media will keep hyping it like we're all going to die of Ebola in a week. LA County says no to outdoor TV for diners ahead of Super Bowl. It would be tragic if Super Bowl becomes the super spreader of beer virus, health director says. You don't have any control of that. Los Angeles County restaurants finally saw loosened beer virus restrictions on Friday as establishments were allowed to reopen for outdoor dining only, but officials implemented new restrictions, including ban on televisions. Oh boy. I guess they're trying to destroy the NFL too. Well, good riddance to them. Who the hell needs those bunch of anti-American guys who are going to kneel and, you know, give credence to people like Colin Kaepernick? Could care less if they fold tomorrow, but I'm not into sports. So, yeah, I mean, I guess just kill the NFL. How do you like that, NFL guys? You kowtowed to these woke morons, and what did it get you? Nothing. Who's going to watch the Super Bowl now? People are going to have parties and stuff. They're still going to have parties. They're just not going to tell you. I suppose the next big thing will be to bust into these places. You know, raid your home for the dangerous super spreader parties that are happening. Doesn't matter if you're social distancing, masked up, vaccinated. Nothing matters. All that matters is government gets to still push you around. That's the game. Until these guys are out of office and suffer permanent political damage, they'll continue to do this as long as it makes them money and gives them power. Dr. Scott Atlas fires back at Birx over bizarre claim he gave Trump parallel data streams on beer virus. It's a sick, vicious lie for anyone to say or imply that ever gave the President of the United States false information. So, if you don't think doctors can get caught up in the bureaucracy that's in the government, you're wrong. And this is perfect evidence of that. You've got doctors within the government fighting it out. You know? It's no wonder Fauci survives. He just keeps flip-flopping on his advice, keeps changing his tune. He's a politician. That's what he is. He's maneuvering his way so he could work another year and make $417,000. He's the highest, one of the highest paid guys in Washington, if not the highest paid Washington employee. Well, he gets to go on TV shows, gets to have fame and fortune, probably get a TV deal once he leaves Washington. You know, and he can give conflicting advice all day, and nobody seems to call him on it. Nobody seems to want to fire him. Shouldn't he be fired? Shouldn't Fauci be fired for telling us, oh, don't wear the mask, that can make you work. Oh, wear the mask, that's important. Oh, wear 2 masks. Wear 3. Wear a dozen. He disgusts me. FEMA requests help from Pentagon to administer beer virus vaccine. Department of Defense. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said the department is evaluating the request. Please don't do this. Please. Now, first, the number one reason why I say don't do this is because if you think the conspiracy theories are bad now, wait until the government sets up a FEMA situation. I almost said camp, and I guess it would be a little bit of a camp, and starts giving people injections. No, don't do this. This would be a nightmare. It would be an absolute nightmare, and there would be many people who just wouldn't go. They just wouldn't go because you're doing it through FEMA and the DOD, and you'd have soldiers there. No thanks. No effing thanks. It's the wrong thing to do. It sends the absolute wrong message. And it's probably not going to speed things up. That's the worst part about it. It's probably going to make things just more expensive and slower. Look, when I went to get tested for the beer virus, I went to a place. This was right before Christmas. I got sick. I was worried I'd have it. I wanted to spend Christmas with my family. So I went to a place. I got tested. They said, we won't have the results until after Christmas. And I was like, oh. Then my dad called a place, found a place that would do it in 2 hours. It cost $139. I got in the car. I went. I got tested. Boom. Got the results back. And then I thought later, why couldn't that first place do that? What was the problem there? They weren't, I guess, as good a place. I mean, the people at the second place was a hospital, and the first place was more of a medical facility. So maybe they didn't have the right testing stuff, but I gotta think, if it was that quick for $139, and you had to make appointments, and people had to spread them out over hours, so it was hard to get appointments. It was hard to get appointments at CVS and all the other big chains that had appointments. But the test is like, zoop, okay, you're done. I mean, it literally took less than 5 minutes, and I was back in my car, and I'm thinking to myself, why are the appointments booked up? If you could do one every 5 minutes, and it's pretty evident that you can, okay, maybe 10 minutes apart, they were only taking people every half hour. That seems ridiculous. You should be taking way more people than that. And it's such a simple test. I don't know why they couldn't take dozens and dozens and dozens of people in a day. Seems like there's something odd about it. So if you're going to get FEMA involved, I can't imagine they'll be very much more efficient, or the DOD, or the Army, because I mean, they're going to have to come to my region, set up a whole thing, build it, and then start seeing people. And, they already have their own government red tape. Like CVS doesn't have a lot of government red tape. They're just in it for the money, whatever money they're getting. The Pentagon or FEMA, they're going to take their good old time setting up, because everybody's getting paid, and there's a certain way they do things, and there's no rush. There's no rush for them to get anything done. That's why people in government take forever to do everything. Why would you work harder? If I say to you at your job, it doesn't matter how fast you do it, how well you do it, you can take breaks and whatever, and you're left on your own, are you going to work your butt off? You get automatic raises. There's no incentive to work harder in government. So sending FEMA is an absolute dumb idea. Please don't do it. Please don't make things worse. And finally, beer virus economic cost deepens with slow vaccine rollout. Well, I wouldn't blame the slow vaccine rollout. I blame Democratic states for locking down. That's why the economy is screwing us. I mean, that's the problem. A third of Americans withdrew or borrowed money from their retirement accounts in 2020. Yeah, and I bet they're all in Democratic states trying to hang on to their houses. I mean, they're not in South Dakota or Florida. Those guys are all open. Texas, pretty open. So, where are all these people borrowing the money? I gotta imagine you're doing it if you're in New York. Or if you're here in New Jersey. Oh yeah, a lot of places closed. I drive around and see closed places. I drove past a party rental place today, and I just thought, oh man, that guy's done. How's it, people can't have parties. I guess he's probably, you can't rent out your tents. Businesses, they might as well buy them at this point. They need them if they're going to have outdoor dining or whatever. What's he going to rent? You can't have a party. You can't rent a bouncy castle for one kid. He's screwed. He's done. He might as well close up shop. He's probably been closed since March. It's like almost a year. What businesses do you know that can close for an entire year? Oh, right. I mean, if you're a socialist, you probably don't understand economics, but the rest of you who aren't socialists probably get it. It's very simple math. You need continuous customers in a business. You can't just close down for a year. You can close down for a few days, 15 days to slow the spread, but not a year. Not a month. Most places, it's pretty close to the bone. So anyhow, that's what's going on with the beer virus. It's wreaking havoc, mostly because of the government response. Imagine if they had just said, well, there's a virus, social distance, wash your hands, wear a mask, and hopefully we'll all get through this, and everybody got inoculated, and unfortunately the people who were going to die died. Now maybe you could argue that, well, slowing the spread helped us develop the vaccines, and that's going to save some people. Maybe, but how many more people are going to die of suicide and depression because they lost everything? You know, suicides amongst teenagers are way up. They can't see their friends. They're already, shaky enough. Let's open things up. This has gone on too long. And if these politicians will not open it, we must vote them out. Doesn't matter the party. They have to be gone and elect people who will open things.